Welcome to Bread, White, and Buffalo!
Yeah.
All right, so we are starting off. I just want to let everybody know we did have some video difficulty this week, so yes, I'm not happy. It's all good. We got the audio, though, so we are going to release the audio as is, and obviously you are going to see us right now, but we did just want to do a little intro video, and then it's just going to go to our logos of our beautiful faces you get to see for the next half an hour.
Yep.
Even better.
Yep. But hey, you know what? Glass half full. You can listen to it while you're doing something else. You don't have to look. You can go put it on the room in the background. Background podcast.
Even better.
We all
even
do it.
Better.
We all do it.
But yeah, we just wanted to come in and say that quick. We thank you guys anyways. Peace out. We'll talk soon.
See you next week.
And welcome back. Another episode of Red, White, and Buffalo, baby. Some good news this week. What a comeback. What a game. What a game. As always, it's Adam and my co-host Zilla, baby. Let's start her off.
All right. Let's go ahead and kick off what we're going to talk about this week. So, number one, unpack that game. I think that was my reaction to that game, right?
So much.
What a game.
What a game.
The second half comeback, obviously, that goes without saying. Josh Allen hits, unusual amount of hits and some dirty plays. We didn't like what we saw.
No, not one bit. Number 21, Brandon Stevens. Piece of work. Piece of work.
You're falling on our list.
I was like, I kind of don't like the Ravens at all now. Like, yeah. I was like, I didn't care about them anyway, but now I hate them.
Now they rub me the wrong way. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and then the loss of McKenzie and Crowder.
Big. That'll hurt us.
That's tough. The rain, how that affected the game, we'll get into that.
Yep.
That was definitely, I think, something that I was kind of overlooking in the first half, so we'll bring that up. Shakur and no Kumaro, but he showed himself this game, so that's cool. Tyler Bass and Poyer, we're going to talk a little about them. Remember, again, why talk about the kicker? You'll find out.
Stars of the game.
Because he's great. And Jersey Superstition, ooh.
Yeah, I'll talk about that one.
That's your topic, then we'll find out. And I think, let's see, then we'll just wrap it up with next week game. So, all right.
Yep.
Cool. So let's kick off. Let's unpack that game. So can I start off by saying, since I typed that immediately, I think, at the end of that game, or fourth quarter, I was like, this game was very, very difficult for me because I was still hopeful. But, going into the end of the second, I kind of had this feeling I had hope, but I was, really disappointed. And I started thinking, are we overlooking flaws, because our offense was just rocketing the first two games of the season, right? What'd you think?
I agree. I totally agree. I in that first half, I was just like the fumble, the interception, the drop passes, the 20 to 3 while going, and then 20 to 10 last second. But I was like, geez, this seems like a very bad offense all of a sudden, and the defense isn't holding up either very well. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And but also, we gave up Dobbins was those couple close touchdowns. We talked about it. We were like, also, it wasn't really the defense when a lot of their scores given up this year have been a 4-yard touchdown after a 10-yard drive, literally a 10-yard drive, because they fumbled on last game against the Dolphins. They got a close touchdown off a fumble. This game, Dobbins got 2 off a fumble and an INT. It's like...
Yeah, and I mean, we've said this before, but the defense can't, be the savior every single game. They just can't. They can't do it. You know what I mean? We have a strong defense, but you can't just rely on that alone. The offense has to be clicking. So, I think that touchdown at the end of the second, right before halftime, is what brought my spirits up. I'm like, all right, dude, I feel like we're coming back. I remember you
texted me, you're like, back in it. I was like, yes, we got this. I texted you right back, and I was like, we've got this game.
I was like, get a hold, because that first screw up on the opening drive, right?
Yeah.
So we had to hold them so we could get the momentum back, which I think we did. And then, like you said, those Dobbin ones are just slipped in. I think we did pretty well with containing Lamar Jackson again.
213 passing, and I think only, what did he have for, I'll look it up real quick. I think he had...
I'm not going to lie. While you're looking that up, I'm not going to lie. That guy felt like he did 20 passes for 2 yards in the first half. I was like,
I know.
what?
He was only 20 of 29 for 144 yards, which is in 1 touchdown, 2 INTs.
It just felt like he was completing so many short passes. Like, it might have been just the perception, but I was like, what is going on?
He did. I mean, that's not bad, 20 of 29. But in Lamar, and he had 11 for 73. But I think that was towards the end of the game too, because for a while Josh had like 50 more yards than him. Because I texted you, I was like, who's the running quarterback now?
Yeah. I think we still contained him pretty well comparatively for the. I mean, he had a crazy start to his season, so like that's
we
good.
Still held him for under 250 yards. So we've yet to allow a quarterback to get over 250 yards over us,
which is great. And do you happen to know the turnover? Do you know how many turnovers on downs we had in the first half? I should have looked that up. I'm curious.
For our team?
Yeah, that looked bad.
Actually, it will tell you if you go to team stats.
That's what I'm saying. Where we're like. You can't rely solely on the defense, which we were doing the entire first half. So.
It's hard. Let's see. Total drives, 4th downs, 104. Or 101. They didn't have any turnover on downs. But they were 4 of 11 on 3rd down. That's bad.
Oh, no. I meant us, though. Like, how many we turned over on.
Oh, no, we went 101.
Oh, really?
4th, yeah. But I think you were meaning like 3rd down, 4 of 11.
Yeah, third. Yeah, I meant.
So we punted a lot this game.
Yeah.
Which was uncharacteristic for us.
Good call. Not turnover on downs, but like actually just forcing to punt.
Right. Yeah. And the interception and the fumble. It's like we had a lot of weird stuff this game. But look, once again, Zilla, how many first downs? Oh, we had same amount of first downs, same amount of plays but we had 30 more yards. It wasn't bad. Honestly, that's where they killed us rushing. Outrushed us by 40. Yeah. Oh, that's where we won those. They had 9 for 70 in penalties.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow. That crushed them bad. I remember, too, that hurt them during the game a couple times, and I was like, ooh, that hurt. But once again, we lost the game off a penalty last week.
Yeah. This game actually looked a lot like the first half of this game looked like last week again, and I was like, this is not good, Just
You're
like
right.
the vibe of, hey, as long as we're talking about penalties, let's just talk about those dirty hits and stuff.
Oh,
right? Since that's like,
dude,
I felt like, didn't you said to me, you're like, what is going on? Like every play ended with a cheap shot or like a late hit or
it just got to the point where like one drive alone, Josh Allen got hit like either like just almost in his head or in the head like 3 times, and I was like, I text you every time and I was like, what is going on? Like I do not understand why they're like trying to hurt him. Yeah, I'm like, it's funny. Harbaugh just came out basically saying like, oh, Miami, I can't believe how they're dealing with that, and then I'm like, your players are now trying to hurt ours. I'm like,
you're taking a playbook for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was it was crazy, and it seemed intentional. It really did.
Right.
But, I mean, like when you said you don't know why, we know why they'd want to take him out, but I mean,
of course,
it just looked terrible. It looked it wasn't just him either. I feel like there was shots on receivers, there were shots on our running back.
Well, going to the McKenzie hit, that was Brandon Stevens, number 21. That guy was just ridiculous. I don't get how you can knock somebody out like that with a shoulder to the head and then not get ejected.
Yeah.
That's targeting to me.
Yeah. It looked bad. And he had multiple instances until that led up to that, too. That
right.
Like to the point that we had to single him out in this podcast.
Right. Literally, singling out Brandon Stevens, number 21. Yeah. You are a piece of work.
Plain like slime.
Yes. Yeah. If I see you walking down the street, I'm for sure tripping you.
Throwing a banana peel in front of you. All right.
Let's go to the loss of McKenzie and Crowder quick, and then we'll go back to the second half, come back quick. Yeah, because the loss of McKenzie, obviously that was that hit on freaking Brandon Stevens. It was bad. That was bad. It was a Tua hit. It literally I didn't see his hands, but he literally was motionless, couldn't move it was like his body stiffened up for a second kind of hit.
That's a tough loss too, because McKenzie has been like a real
he's a touchdown machine.
He just so clutch when we need him. A lot of plays, like he'll catch it when we really need like that 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12 or something crazy.
I mean, look at the Miami game. Who was open to get the win? If Josh had threw his normal throw, that was game-winning touchdown, McKenzie. Like he's always there. He's always there, and he's good. And he's good. Like a lot of videos I see on like the Bills, Buffalo Bills, like Instagram and stuff, is him doing stuff, like him interviewing the players and stuff, because he's just that player's type of player,
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Locker room guy.
Hopefully it's not something really long term, but
just the injuries are racking up, dude.
I know. I keep feeling like each week, like this is our week where we start getting a handle on that stuff, you know? And
yeah.
Then, and like you mentioned, not too many people came back this week either, really. We still had our defense a lot. I mean, some are going to be out.
Phillips still. Yeah. That Phillips is good. That hurts us. But going on to Crowder, I mean, I like Crowder too, but you loved him talk. I mean, I think our first one, you were like, I want to talk about Crowder because he's going to be big.
I just feel like I felt for the guy because he was someone trapped on a bad team for years, and I was like, here's a place to shine, and he's kind of been here and there with us, but like to have it go out like that, it's kind of rough. Yeah,
it is tough. It's gonna be. It's sad to see too because it's probably season ending most likely. If he did any ligament damage in your ankle, done.
Yeah, so it's rough. Add it to the list of the people out.
Seriously though, it just adds and it's all stars. It's all of our good players too. It's not like it's a backup. Or it's like Poyer was hurt, Hyde's hurt, Phillips is hurt. You know, these are big time players that are gonna make big time impacts, and we're still winning.
Still finding ways to win. I think the next topic about the rain, that's a good one to hit up about.
Yeah.
I'm glad we dug back in the stats a little while ago because that was good for you to point out that the rushing. That's why rushing was so critical. Why we're still struggling with rushing and why they dominated because they're a rush heavy team. With that aspect, but how many drop balls this game? There's a ton.
Right. I think that's clearly contributed to the weather too. Yeah. I mean, obviously our team's usually better than that, but
both sides had a lot of drops, wet ball, and you see the ref covering the ball like the baby.
I think I think it was just really, really bad, honestly. Like with all that. Yeah. Crowder, they said broken foot too. I just saw it quick when I was looking up the stats. But that the rain game, the pass run game, the run we've talked about it multiple times in previous episodes how we're gonna come to a time where we need to run. Yeah. In the snow against freaking Patriots, in the rain this game, there's going to be times no matter where you are that you're going to have to run the ball. And it's got to be 3 out of 4 weeks Josh Allen's our leading rusher. Come on.
What you want. That's not what you want, You
look back at last season and he's like the leading rusher 12 out of 17 weeks. That's
I'm glad
unacceptable.
He's there, but that's not your primary role as a quarterback.
No. It can't yes, I love it, but it can't be our game all the time.
We're supportive of it. We're always supportive of it, but that
100%.
And this game, the prime game to get Cook in more, and they really didn't give him a whole lot of touches. I don't feel like on this.
I don't get the NFL. I do not understand how one game you'll give I understand matchups and stuff like that, but at some point you've got to just give people opportunities.
Yeah, and you saw the rain was affecting the pass. Just go through our backs, dude. Start ranking them yourself.
Right.
I don't. Singletary again. He's here and there. He's good sometimes. Sometimes he's not. Moss. I saw Moss get stuffed again when we needed him. I'm almost I don't know about Moss, man, because the few times he busts loose for a 20 or gets a goal line TD, I don't know if it makes up for all the other times. And Singletary fumbled.
And that's the problem too. Singletary, that's another fumble. So that's three. That's three. That's not from just him, but it's a fumble from I think Moss has had one. Now he's had one, and freaking, what's his name? Cook had one too. First carry ever.
First. I mean, I think the thing about Singletary, I will clarify, he didn't really just loosely fumble. They stripped it hard, but ball, you gotta hang on to it. You gotta hang on.
Or get down. Get down. One or the other.
They stripped it hard. It wasn't a bobble idiot move. Right. It was an earned fumble.
Right. Yeah. But I think hopefully with I think this was a weird game for obviously stat wise too, because it's hard to put too much into this with how bad the weather was. It was at times I was like, holy crap, it's pouring there. It was really coming to the point where you could see it through the camera, and then I was like, damn, when it gets that wet. I mean, you've played outside when it's freaking wet. It's ridiculous, dude. It's a total different game.
Even
no matter
your sticky wide receiver gloves aren't gonna help.
No, I mean, no matter what you do, it's still gonna be tough. But that was the negative parts. I do want to talk about the huge second half comeback. And, even with the rain, the inconsistency, this team showed why we're still probably the best team in the NFL. Honestly, it's like these are the it's not all about stats. Sometimes you have to just grind, and you have to grind out wins. And we're trying to change that. Like that we were 1-6 in games in close games against, I think, what was it, under 10, single digits. So 1-6 now. We're 2-7. So
I think that was our biggest comeback from a deficit since
2014. Yeah, 14.
Yeah. Okay, so that was good itself. I think. What else I was gonna say about the whole the come from behind? I think it was good to see them firing like that. So like I went out to the Wings bar one more time. The coolest thing is like to hear from people who aren't Bills fans at the Bills bar.
Right.
They're like, yeah, this is a fun team to watch. Like when they start firing in the third, I'm like, yeah, these people. The most common thing I hear is it's a fun team to watch. Or like these guys really can play. It's like it's cool to hear that from someone who's a fan of the Cowboys or someone sitting next to you.
Right, and I even like people at work too. Like for me, like I've even some of the friends at work too. They've just started being like it's fun to watch, or like I'm kind of rooting for them too, because like everyone likes to see a good, like essentially a good comeback story in the Bills. Over the last 20-30 years had the rough existence. So it's been nice.
For all the naysayers, I feel like there's an equal amount of supporters for the underdogs.
Who doesn't like watching Josh Allen play? Come on. He is so fun. Him and Diggs together. At one point, I think I posted a picture on the Instagram, our Instagram. Hey, follow Red White Buffalo Instagram. Follow us. YouTube as well. Subscribe, please. Either way, I posted it, and it was like this. Just picture perfect reception by Diggs, and I'm just like, I love him so much. He's just him and Allen are just so much fun to watch. It's just a great time.
And people say Diggs like, oh, I hear people saying from Buffalo fans too are like, oh, I was afraid he was gonna be toxic, and it's like, no, he's actually chirping at other people now. It's hilarious after he gets getting in their head.
Right, and I think anytime somebody wants to leave a team, they immediately get called toxic, and it's just like when you leave a job. Generally, 9 times out of 10, it's not always a good thing when you leave. It's usually arguing or something goes on, or somebody's upset or something. It's just how it goes. But I don't know.
He just found a new job at a great place to work at.
The Buffalo Bills. Yeah, so the big second half comeback, that score right before half was huge. I think that was the big game changer after that. And honestly, our defense once again just dominant, dude. Dominant.
I think that last minute score and then the stop, in the second half, the first stop was huge. Keep that momentum going, and we just kept going. Yeah.
If you were the Ravens, what would you do? I want to know what you brought in Zilla's mind. What would you do?
I guess keep putting cheap shots at Josh Allen, trying to stop him.
What would you do though in the final minute? In that final play.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Where they went for it on 4th and goal. Would you kick the field goal, or would you go for it like they did?
I think they knew they had to. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think neither team really wanted that OT. No one wants the overtime.
For me, it made me think I think they're afraid that the Bills were going to win. If they knew they were going to score.
They felt like that would be a seal it up deal. Yeah, so I think it's an interesting comment. Also, you see, I think just seeing Lamar Jackson's face on the bench, like we said, helpless in the rain, like he knew. I think you could see it in his face, like that they're going to lose. Like just the momentum changed. It was unanswered points after unanswered points, and then I think let's talk about the Tyler Bass thing as long as it kind of feeds into this. We let him take that kick, right? Like we should have done probably last week.
Yeah.
So.
I think we need to start trusting. I mean, we have a phenomenal kicker. I think a lot of times people think, oh, like you settle for a field goal. Yeah, sometimes it's good that you settle for a field goal. Sometimes it's good that we get those 3 points, as we can tell when we lost by 2 last week. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to go for the points, and we need to stop either trying to go for it, or last week got caught up with the penalty, stuff like that. It's just you got to trust your kicker, and I'm glad we've got such a dominant kicker. He is very good. He doesn't miss very often. He always hits extra points. I think with inside 40, he's like only missed like I think only like 3 to 5 field goals.
He's even good like almost 50. Like he's been good. And I think the fact that it's great to see that the coaching staff and like offensive coordinator all have like faith in going 4th and 1 or 4th and 2.
Well, how about Bills D on second and third down stop them too?
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. That was a defensive stand, dude, and that just shows you how good our team is.
Yeah,
on D.
Wild. And I think
Ridiculous.
anyone looking at that game who didn't watch the Bills that well would be like, "Oh, Lamar Jackson is going to get in there or something," with this. And
if you told me Baltimore Ravens on the 1 yard line, second down to go, that they weren't going to score, come on.
Yeah, that's wild.
Come on.
Yeah,
it's wild. That was just a stand. We just made a stand. It was just meant to be.
And as long as we're talking about defense, let's throw in Boyer in the mix, man.
Yes.
Beast.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
We both agree. Let's re-sign him for
2-3 years. Yeah.
2-3.
2-3 years. Good to go, baby.
He's older, but like he's having a season like you said again. He's like 4 interceptions this year.
Leads the league.
This game.
Yeah. Leads the league in interceptions. Second in pass deflected through 4 games, and he missed a game.
Yeah.
So he's a stud. He's definitely one of the reasons why our defense is so good, along with Hyde, obviously, who we're gonna miss dearly. But Poyer's just been that guy there that's secretly, like behind the scenes, been that dude, and he's been great. And
I almost want to compare him to a baseball closer. Like, how many times has he done the interception in the half, like in the second half when we needed it, and it's just like, well, that's a game changer right there. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, that interception was huge.
Yeah,
huge.
He's either like ending the game with that, or he's like turning
point.
Yeah, turning point on that. Yeah,
him and Hyde. How many times? Remember that diving interceptions last year last year it was against New England.
Yeah,
it was playoffs, right?
Yep.
Where he was like diving in the end zone, and dude, those safeties are more important than people think. You know, how many times do we allow like a 70-yard touchdown or a 60-yard touch? We don't. We just don't, because we may bend, but we barely break.
That was like one of the first things Von Miller said was like the safeties. That first interview, the first game, I think he's like our safeties. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
2 guys
making my life easier. Like basically. Yeah.
When all of a sudden the quarterback has to run around for 7-10 seconds instead of the normal 2 or 3 seconds, it's game changing. Your defense is so important, and I've always said like defensive line and offensive line wins Super Bowls, but you also have to have like accompanying like decent guys, and to have all pros that are behind him, that's even better, dude. And I don't know. I for sure best defense in the league again. Like it's hands down. There's not even the only defense that's close got dominated last night. Absolutely dominated.
Which is even closer. I mean, which is even saying more now that we even have injuries. You know what I mean? And we're still a top defense. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy. And that's another thing. Like, on both sides of the ball, we have so many injuries, and we're still finding ways to win games against good teams.
Good teams.
You know?
That's what I was going to say. Good teams.
Good teams. Or at least compete with Dolphins. They had a full team. We had literally 5 starters out just alone on D. 2 on offense. It's crazy how well we can still play. But that goes to show you. I think we talked about first episode. Depth. We have so much of it, and that's good. And that's why and I feel like when teams get better, they start getting better. Like, a lot of guys start signing back with them, like Shaq Lawson and Ford Phillips. It's good that we have all that depth now.
Well, the closer you get to a championship, the more people want to stay on board, because they're gonna try to make it happen next year.
And I feel like good veterans start signing on, like Crowder, stuff like that. Or
they're
like
sure,
guy
I'll
that
go to
used
Buffalo.
to be on the team.
They look like they're on their way to a ring.
Right.
Yeah.
They are, baby. This year.
Do you want to talk about the young wide receivers again? The younger.
Yes. I do, because coming off the injury talk again, we do need people to step up, and that Shakir guy looked good. He looked good. He looked decent. No Kumaro, which was
Kumaro
weird.
looked good the other week, though, so
he did.
Both of them will be stepping up next week.
I do think obviously 2 guys out, so they're going to be 3, 4. We need a 3 and 4 now to step up. So Shakir is hopefully going to be good. Hopefully he can step up, and hopefully Kumaro gets time too. I mean, it's fun watching those young guys get a chance, especially with, with Diggs and Gabe too. We need other guys to step up.
Yeah.
Knox too. Hopefully Knox can step up. He's been wishy-washy.
I was just almost gonna say though, he's been pretty clutch this game too. He kind of had a hard hit last game. I think he's kind of like an unsung hero.
It's hard to judge tight ends, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
No one celebrates tight ends. I feel like ever since I like football, I always kind of like paid attention to tight ends because I just like that they have the blocking role, but then they're also just like huge and they just like make things happen sometimes.
Right.
Like, they're almost like the get out of jail free card when things are going bad.
I was gonna say the blocking role is right.
Yeah.
I think the blocking role is important, and also like just being a good route runner too can like. As we've seen with Kelsey and Andrews, having a good route runner for a tight end really does extend the field, open up the field, because now those linebackers have to actually cover them and not just like be like spying them essentially. You know what I mean?
And you can't sleep on it because they're typically bigger, anyway, size wise. So it's like you got a wide receiver that's running a route and like that, with that amount of size. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So I mean, he hasn't got much love this year, but I think it's just been because. It's just I think he does a lot more for us than we realize. And like you said, he makes big catches.
Yeah.
He made a big catch last game, the game before last. He makes big catches, and he may only show up on the stat sheet for 2-3 receptions. But hey, if you get a reception on third down, fourth down, or a 20-yard catch late in the game, sometimes that's what matters, and sometimes that's why you stay, and you are a starter,
Yeah. I mean, the end of last season, I feel like he got a lot. He was Josh's kind of like go-to guy for touchdowns, like just the short yard passes.
I think he had 9 last year or something like that.
And a lot of them were toward the end. I recall him stepping up. But so it's just good having him there. I don't, like you said, I don't think that our team's really one of those teams built around our tight end, but it's good having him as just an addition to the team.
Right.
That's all.
I agree. I 100% agree that like a tight end, like we've always talked, that a tight end is needed in this because that's why the Chiefs have beaten us year after year. Is because they've had a better tight end when it comes down to it, and they can get the yardage and stuff when they need it. And we always haven't been able to do that, so it's huge. But going on, I do want to talk about a superstition of mine. I want to see if anyone else agrees with me on this.
Let's get to some fun stuff here with the superstitions. All right.
So, do you believe in the Jersey superstition of like if you don't have your jersey on for game time and they lose, it's like it's the jersey. It was because I wasn't wearing the jersey or I wasn't wearing like that shirt I have or something,
I'm gonna tell you 2 years ago I had the Josh Allen jersey, and every time that I didn't like I had a T-shirt, we'd win, and every time I wore it, we lost. So I started having the opposite. I was like, every time I wear this Josh Allen jersey, we lose. So, but I think it's flip-flopped. Yeah, I agree. And I'm even weird now that I have like an away and a home, and I'll like try to pair up the away and the home for the week.
So the Dolphins game, I got out of work a little late, so I was like rushing home and everything, and I just like had my Bills Mafia shirt on, but I just sat down and watched the game because it was such a good, like an intense game, and I was just in it, and all of a sudden at the end of the game when they lost, I was like, I forgot my jersey. I was like, God, I looked at me and I was like, that's why we lost. I was like, I'm telling you, that's why we lost.
I wish I knew. I would have called you afterwards and been like, we lost because of you.
Yes, yeah. I was like, blame the loss on me. That was my fault. So this game, we were down, right? And I didn't have my jersey on. And also I just sprint to the room, throw my jersey on. They make the comeback, and Emily goes, I believe in it. She's like, I believe in it. She's like, now I believe in it. So I was I have to bring up the Jersey superstition.
I have like a weird OCD thing too. If I miss the kickoff, the opening kickoff, like I don't know why. I feel like I have to be there 15 minutes early to watch it because realistically, like probably nothing would happen. But I just feel like it's really bad luck if I can't see that kickoff.
I do too. I hate missing kickoff. I feel like I missed the game all of a sudden, and I'm like, damn, whatever. Because there's sometimes where you're like trying to find it or whatever, or it's not loading or something. And all of a sudden you get it up and it's like they're already first down and 10. I'm like, come on, I missed the kickoff. But I totally
I'm so weird with the OCDs too when I have like I won't look at the Bills. I typically try not to look at like my fantasy for the Bills, like anything with them while they're playing. I try to look toward the end of the game. With Diggs in the other league, I won't look at that league at all. I'm like, I'll wait to the end. Yeah.
Because you don't want to like be like, I need Diggs to do well and then have him be shit. Yeah, so I had to bring that up because I thought that was funny because it's always something that I've always like done, especially with like Yankees. For something with the Yankees, I just don't. Every time I wear a Yankees shirt when there's a big game on, they've lost. I swear. Yeah. So I'm like, it's for your situation. It's like the opposite, where I'm gonna stop wearing like apparel when there's like big games on for the Yankees. I just don't understand why it's happened to work out like that.
You just wear it the day leading up to it and the day after when they win.
That's what I do. I wear it the day before, the day after, but I won't wear it on the big game.
And the same thing with fantasy. You know, people are just like crazy about fantasy. I'm like, everyone's like, oh, Mark Andrews didn't get you anything. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm glad the Bills shut him down.
Yep, I'm the same way. I had him in Tyler's league. I'm like, good job. I'm like, I don't give a heck. But yeah, let's get into the wrap up. Overall, I think it was a great game, great comeback. You know, we're gonna have up and down games. We're gonna have up and down halves. We're gonna have up and down few games. You know, but I did feel like we hit that second half was our turning point, and it did feel nice. It felt nice to come out of this game still. You know, even though it was really rough, it felt really good by the end. I was just like, that was a good game. You know, that was a good game.
Also, I know the whole Tua thing was pretty terrible, but I think seeing the Bengals beat, I felt like they were going to beat Miami no matter what happened with them.
I picked them, yeah.
Yeah, regardless, they looked like they were the stronger team. So like seeing Miami go down to them made me feel better too, because I'm like, I just feel like this week we did what we just for some reason couldn't do last week.
Right.
Like, and so combination of taking the Ravens down, who also Miami beat, and then also seeing Miami go down to the Bengals, who we're hopefully going to beat in a few weeks.
Right. You know, we play them late season, actually. I think week 17.
Is it? Bengals. I thought they were like in the mid.
Let me see. I think it's
Let me see quick.
I actually have the schedule up. They play week 17.
Oh,
ABC though. That's a good game.
Yeah.
That's a Monday night. Monday night against Cincinnati, 8:30.
I feel strongly we're going to beat them, though. So the fact that the Dolphins went down, and I love that the Steelers made the Jets look really good yesterday. That makes it look like we have a top division.
Right. And what's even better is that next week we play the Steelers. Yeah. But I will say the Steelers did look a lot better once Kenny Pickett came in. Unfortunately, because I'm a supporter of Mitch Trubisky after he was on the team. I really, really wanted his career to be revived. I was hoping for it. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know. It's sad to see. It's really sad to see. I hate to see where like I'm supporting a guy like that and they just go down. They just keep going down the shitter, and it's just like fuck.
And it's like he finally got that spotlight. You know, finally starter role. Yeah,
on a decent team, a much better team than the Bears. Like pretty much a better team than he's ever had.
Yeah.
And
other than second on the Bills when he could. Last year.
Right.
When he got to throw to top receivers.
When he got to be on the best team.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. And I saw actually that game was up at the same time, and someone was sitting near me that was a Steelers fan. So they were kind of like commenting. I was like, dude, Kenny Pickett's like that young, dumb quarterback ready to get TDs. Like he's wild. He's
ready.
So
he's ready to just go in and throw it, you know?
Compete with that because he's like more reserved. You know, he's been around for a while. And this kid's like got that fresh out of college attitude.
Oh, yeah. And he's got something to prove, you know?
Yeah.
Mitch has kind of already had a career in a sense. He's got something to prove too, but like he's kind of he's a backup now at this point in his career, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think Pickett might he's got a lot to prove. He might prove how good the Bills defense is.
Right. Right. 3-4 interceptions later. You know, maybe we'll be seeing Trubisky sooner than we thought. But we'll see. I mean, Kenny Pickett last week went 10 of 13, 120 yards, 3 INTs.
Ooh.
What?
He made a difference as soon as he came in. I didn't watch the game close enough for the INTs.
I saw the comeback. And I think the last one was a toss-up INT. Wow, I didn't realize he had 3 INTs. That's actually really bad. Yeah. So I wonder who's going to be starting. He already has more INTs than Trubisky has all season.
But he got the win, though, right?
No, didn't they lose? I think they lost 23-20, I think.
Yeah, to the Jets?
Yeah, I think they ended up losing to the Jets.
I can't recall what the final score.
Yeah, 24-20 they lost. They've lost 3 in a row, 17-14, 29-17, and 24-20. Dang. So they're not looking good. I mean, That could be a bad thing for us, though. That coming off, or it could just be good that they're going to come in and we just stank them up. I think, honestly, I don't even think they're even close to our level, especially with the quarterback drama. And they've got a good running back, but when you have an iffy quarterback, it tends to be your whole offense is like not going to do well, kind of thing. So,
and every time you throw in one of these like rookie quarterbacks too early, there's problems. Like it's like almost like out of necessity they have to throw him in. That's always not good. Like you want to develop them, and they don't really have that, I guess, right now because they're kind of like in a situation where they need to get some wins. So
it's kind of weird. We lost to them last year. Remember, first game of the season.
First game, yeah.
It was one of those upsets, but it was also Benny. Benny was just the game. He was just the game manager.
TJ Watt was still there too. So.
He's out this week too. Yeah. He's out. Yeah, that's right.
How long
that's
is he
big
out?
loss.
I was almost gonna look it up.
I heard 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, okay. So we're not
6 to 8. Yeah, no, we don't have to worry about them at all. And not just that, they're in this huge losing streak. So I'm calling 31-6, no touchdowns given up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a real beater like that too.
I think what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna give him a couple field goals, too, like that. So.
I think show your shirt real quick. I think that's what's gonna happen to him.
Oh yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah. So what are you calling? What do you call for the final?
I would almost go like as long as the weather is good and everything, I'd almost go higher. I'd almost say we're getting into 40s and we're gonna keep them single digits.
41-6.
It could be a blowout, like a complete blowout.
Yeah.
I might actually give them the one touchdown, like
late game.
We might make an error and so maybe like 41-10, something like that. Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see all that because honestly, their offense is not that good. If they do score, it might even be like first drive of the game kind of thing.
They still have those people that can be like if you give them the right situation, a threat like Deontay Johnson still can be a touchdown guy.
He's good. Yeah. He's good.
Playful, speedy. He can occasionally get something. So.
Their tight end Vermuth is actually, or Vermuth or whatever. He's actually been playing pretty decent. So I mean, we'll see. It's all. I mean, that Pickens guy too. Remember that big? He's huge. Like a tall, big guy. So we'll see. I mean, Harris is going to get yards against us probably. It's just he's a good running back, and it's probably bound to happen. I mean,
We've done good though against Henry. We've done good against Lamar.
We have actually.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I think that's just the D line significantly improving this year.
Yeah. Yep.
We've talked about it. You even said two episodes ago you were talking about how crazy our defensive line has been.
That was a huge struggle last year. Like as much as we had rushing issues on offense, we also had rushing issues on defense.
Right.
Like I remember CEH running all over us, going wild, and stuff like that. Like people that are okay but shouldn't be going that. Like we're starting to stop some of that.
Well, remember we've always been the number one pass defense for like 2 years now, but the rush defense has been
people like Milano are just coming in and snagging ankles like before they can cut outside. Like
dude, how about that tackle where all of a sudden like it was like later in the game and he stuffed him. It was great, dude.
But he stood up and like looked at the clip to see like he couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Because you saw him, he was like coming over, and as the play developed, you see him just shoot through and he was just boom, got him, and I was like, whoa! Even the announcer was like, what a play by Milano, like reading and recognizing, and then being able to just attack. It's just been huge.
Him and Edmonds are just everywhere.
Have we not talked about? I said this. I said Von Miller is going to come to this team, and we'll see a significant improvement because of just experience alone and leadership. That leadership alone experience will just help them develop so well.
Yeah.
And like we said, even if it's statistic-wise, he doesn't do that amazing. That alone we've seen improvement with Milano, and we've seen improvement with Edmonds so well.
Yeah.
So.
And Russo too, some big plays.
Yeah, huge. Well, he's got like 3-4 sacks, I think. He's been killing it.
Yeah, he's been killing it too.
So it's just been huge. I think another huge defensive stand this week and another big W.
Yeah, another W. I'm not even like concerned or doubting this week. It's a confident one for me. So
I'm looking towards next week at KC.
Yeah,
that's what I'm worried about. That's a big game.
It's actually good that we have this warm-up to keep us warm, but hopefully we come out of this feeling really good about everything. The team feels good on both offense and defense. Hopefully they have another week that's going to be like that second half of the last game where they just fire again, like back to our first week 1 and 2 games, you know.
And I do want to put it out there. The Chiefs game is at 4:25. I am going to live stream for that game, and I'm going to do a live reaction. Obviously, just everyone can hang out and watch the game with me. Maybe Zilla will join in. Maybe.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that will be a good one.
Bit. Yeah.
Probably find us on Discord. Maybe I'll put out. Maybe I don't know what I could do.
We got a couple weeks, so let's get the details up. Maybe we'll put it at the end of this episode if we get something together for that.
Yeah, either Discord, maybe Instagram or live or something. I don't know.
You could do the YouTube channel live too,
or YouTube live. If whatever. Just check them all out. Week 6, not next week, but the week after against Chiefs, I'm definitely going to do a live stream. So.
It'd be cool if you could get a few people to pop in. That'd be fun. Get a couple.
Well,
guests.
yeah. Maybe I'll even have some friends. Maybe I usually have some friends over. Maybe I'll just do a hangout party and just all hang out
in there. Maybe get someone to pop in for a little bit and talk.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. But I just wanted to let everybody know. Once again, appreciate you all. Shout outs to everyone that have come up to me, asked me about watching it, getting the links to send it to other people. I appreciate you guys so much. It's awesome, and I really appreciate the support. So definitely check us out, YouTube, Instagram, at Red, White, and Buffalo.
Yep.
So
thanks everybody. Thanks so much. I feel like Adam always takes this every time. I'd also like to thank everybody who's watching it, tuning in, giving us feedback, anything like that. I hope people enjoy it. I think we have fun with it, and like we said, we'd actually have this conversation anyway. Yeah, it just wouldn't be on. It wouldn't be recorded.
And I especially want to thank you, Zilla, because just being a part of the podcast is super awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, because I definitely wouldn't be able to do it without you. I've had multiple people say, your other guy that does it with you, he's awesome. I love his voice and everything. So just want to say thank you for keeping it up. And we're definitely going to keep this up, too, throughout the whole season. So thank you, guys.
I'm glad you came up with the idea, too. We should just do the... Well, because, that's the point, right? We were just, the whole point is, we were buds just talking about the Bills anyway every week. We pretty much break it down, unpack it and everything. So, yeah, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you, everyone, and we'll be back next week for another episode. It'll hopefully be another dominant win. So
beating up those Steelers.
Let's go, Buffalo!
Buffalo!
Thank you.